I'm sure many of you, like myself, have wondered at some point or another what a 4th stage Pokemon evolution would be like when a fully evolved Pokemon with 3 stages in its family evolves again. While obviously just a fun hypothetical possibility, it's a fun topic that I've actually explored in a few videos already, and because it's so much fun, we are here to explore it again today with some more 4th stage Evos. Let's check it out. So I am really excited to get into these Evos, but I gotta shout out who literally helped make them happen. All of you guys, and the adorable plush of my new mascot, Folkachi. A lot of you have picked one of these up already, and I appreciate that so much, because it literally helps videos just like this one to happen. And if you haven't grabbed one yet, it is a great time to do so with the link in the description below. Not only does it make a great gift this holiday season for you or for a friend, and is super soft, high quality, and beyond adorable, but now we're also running a charity drive through the end of the year where 10% of your purchase will be directly donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, in order to help give back a little this holiday season. These plushies are honestly amazing. I love them so much and they're so fun to have, and now not only can you get a super high quality plushie for yourself and help out the channel at the same time, but this month it also helps to support a good cause as well. So it's the perfect time to grab one this holiday season. So give that a look with the link in the description below. Again, that charity drive goes through the end of the month and the end of 2023, and a huge thank you to all of you guys for your amazing support. The first Pokemon I have decided to cover today is Charizard, simply because, well, it's Charizard. Love him or hate him, Charizard is overall pretty beloved for how cool he is. So I figured that there was a lot of potential for it with the idea of a 4th stage evolution. Additionally though, this is also inspired by a bit of my childhood and the playground rumor days of Generation 1, as I can still distinctly remember when I was in 1st grade, coming up with a Charizard evolution in my head that was named Fire King. Amazing name, I know. And there was also the widespread rumor during Gen 1's release of a Charizard evolution that was named Charcolt as well. So there's actually some decent precedent for this. With that said, I would like you all to meet Charagon. Now, with Charagon and the rest of the evolutions in this video, they aren't just random ideas for 4th stage evolutions. There's actually a concept behind them that I believe makes a lot of sense and would actually make 4th stage evolutions feasible. The way I have treated the designs in this video is as if these evolutions were more or less like Blood Moon Ursaluna, meaning that while they are evolutions and these are their own separate Pokemon, it's also only one individual Pokemon that a special Charizard was able to evolve into. So this evolution isn't suddenly just a regular occurrence now, and is literally one of a kind. I think that gives it all of the justification necessary to be an actual thing, and personally, I think it would be an amazing way to actually integrate this feature into the games that could actually work, be really exciting, and give some awesome new life to some older Pokemon. With that said, Charagon's theme is that as a special evolution, it features elements of all of Charizard's extra forms. It has the wings, spikes, and mouth flames of Mega Charizard X, the arm blades and tail of Mega Y, the general body shape and horn flames of Gigantamax Charizard, and the colors of Shiny Charizard. However, the colors are distributed differently to still make it feel like it's its own Pokemon. It also becomes Fire Dragon type, just like Mega Charizard X, which is where the name Charagon comes from as well. In terms of how it would evolve, while you could do it a number of different ways, especially if it was one special Charizard that received the evolution, I feel like doing a simple stone evolution, like with a Fire Stone or maybe a new custom stone, would be neat, since that kinda ties back into the whole playground rumor idea, cause I know we all tried to use the evolutionary stones back in the day to evolve Pokemon that couldn't use them, so this would kinda be a nice reference to that. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much with this, but honestly, I have kind of sold myself on the 4th stage evolution concept with this whole idea of it being one special Pokemon. I just think that would work really well. And if it did actually happen, you know it would happen to Charizard. But with a design like this, I would be down for it. The next Pokemon I am going to cover is actually another Kantomon, and that is Poliwrath. Poliwrath is actually one of the few Kanto Pokemon that hasn't gained any kind of special treatment over the years to this point. It doesn't have a Mega, it doesn't have a Gigantamax form, it doesn't have any regional variants, there aren't any convergent species of it yet, and it doesn't have a Paradox counterpart either, so it definitely could use something, so why not a 4th stage evolution? This is Poliwrath, a Ghost-type evolution of Poliwrath. Now, while Poliwrath's deservedness of some special attention is legitimate, this design came about rather whimsically because I got the idea entirely from its name upon realizing that you can just add a single I to Poliwrath's name and get the name Poliwrath, with the word Wraith essentially being a ghost or ghost-like image of someone. And since the idea of a ghost-type Poliwrath evolution sounded so cool, I decided to go for it. If it had a dex entry, it might go something like this. Poliwrath's most distinctive feature is its translucent stomach. The swirl pattern that can be seen within it is said to be the stored souls of its enemies that it is defeated in battle. Now, I've mentioned that it is a ghost type, but it's also not just ghost. I've gone back and forth about whether it should be water ghost or ghost fighting, coming from the previous 2 types of Poliwrath, but I am kind of leaning towards ghost fighting because I feel like Poliwrath shouldn't lose that newly acquired fighting type so quickly upon evolving. Plus, I think the ghost fighting type also fits well with Poliwrath visually. In fact, this could have been a pretty cool counterpart to Annihilate in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as they both have a similar vibe and look to each other, and both evolve from Kanto Pokemon. And since it could work so well as a counterpart, maybe it could also evolve in a similar way to Annihilate as well. I imagine that Poliwrath could evolve into Poliwrath once it has used its new signature fighting type move, Wrath Punch, to knock out 10 Pokemon. Wrath Punch would itself be a sort of counterpart to Annihilate's signature move, Rage Fist, and also be a 50 base power move. And also, somewhat similar to Rage Fist, but also a little different, it would increase in power each turn that it wasn't used, meaning that you would want to wait for a few turns to use it and simply try and hang on in the meantime, and then blow your opponent away in one hit with an extremely powerful attack. 4th stage evolutions probably won't ever happen for real, but Poliwrath definitely deserves some love regardless, and I would definitely be down if it resulted in something like this. And you know, I promise I didn't plan to do it this way, but it looks like Kanto is the theme of this video, because the next Pokemon we are giving an evolution to is Wigglytuff. Similar to Poliwrath, Wigglytuff itself has had no special treatment yet in terms of a Mega Evolution or a regional variant or anything like that. The only exception to this is that its pre-evolution Jigglypuff got a Paradox form in Scarlet and Violet, but it was just Jigglypuff who got that treatment, so Wigglytuff could definitely stand to get some love too. With that said, meet Wigglytuff, the fighting fairy type evolution of Wigglytuff. Now, while giving some needed love to Wigglytuff is nice and all, the thing that inspired this particular evolution is, just like Poliwrath, Wigglytuff's name. With it having tough at the end of its name and the baby form of this Pokemon, Igglybuff, having buff at the end of its name, I thought it would be cool to make a play on that and give Wigglytuff an evolution that was part fighting type, almost as if its pre-evolutions were sort of alluding to and getting ready for this final stage. As you can see, Wigglytuff is ready to throw hands, and personally, I feel like it is the epitome of a fighting fairy type Pokemon, because it looks so squishable and huggable, yet it also looks like it wants to punch you, so it's the perfect blend of elements in my opinion. Also, if you did in fact take the Blood Moon Ursaluna approach with these Pokemon, as previously mentioned, and made them special evolutions of just one individual Pokemon, which again I feel like would be really fitting for this sort of thing, I think that would also add to the awesomeness of Wigglytuff even more, because it's like, not only is it a chonker of a Pokemon, but it's also basically the only one of its kind, which, yeah, I think would be cool. Regarding its name, I mentioned before that the Fighting Fairy Evo concept was inspired by Wigglytuff and Igglybuff's names, and Wigglytuff essentially just keeps the naming conventions of this line going, while also factoring its new fighting type into the equation as well, as it derives from the words big and rough, because it's a big, rough and tumbling fighting type now. Evolution-wise, I think it would actually be amazing to reference Jigglypuff from the anime, and how it got all mad, kinda how Wigglytuff looks when everyone fell asleep due to its singing. So since Wigglytuff obviously does encapsulate a bit of that rage and looks similar to Jigglypuff when it's all puffed up and angry like that, I think that Wigglytuff could evolve into Wigglytuff when it levels up while using its new signature move known as Lullaby Punch. Yes, it's another punching move, but this one would be super cool because it would be a 70 base power fighting type move that not only does damage, but also has a chance to put the user to sleep when it makes contact. I think that would be a really, really cool move, and a really cool way of kind of referencing Jigglypuff's history in this brand new evolution of its line. And there are some more 4th stage evolutions for you. Let me know what you think about these guys, and if you'd ever like to see something like this actually happen in the comments below, and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more if you're new, because it really helps out. Be sure to grab a Folkachi plush as well with that link in the description below, and grab an awesome gift this holiday season, either for yourself or for the plush lover in your life, while also immensely helping out the channel at the same time. And again, a huge thank you to everyone who has grabbed one so far. It honestly means the world. With that said, I'll be back very soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I really, really appreciate it, and I will smell you guys later.